Civic Center TV, television that's close to home. Stay tuned for the Splash Live. It's time for the Splash Live from Civic Center TV, featuring stories from and about people like you in the greater West Bloomfield area. Simulcast on cable, 89.3 Lakes FM, social media, and the web. Now live from Green Media Center on Walnut Lake Road, it's the Splash Live.
Live, local, social, it's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. I'm Tyler Kieft, joined as always by Kevin McIntosh. Happy Friday to you, Kevin.
Woo, woo, we are here, man. Another day, another opportunity. Guess what? Hey, we all woke up today. If you're watching, you're listening to this, you are winning, you blessed. Another day opportunity. Let's go, Tyler.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting weekend ahead here in the greater West Bloomfield area, and an exciting week ahead after that as well. 1 week from today, we won't be on the air with the Splash Live. We'll have something that even more special, all about you and others in the community. The Michigan Week Community Awards Breakfast will be on Friday, May 10th, live from Temple Israel in West Bloomfield Township as we celebrate our volunteers. Kevin, we just came out of National Volunteer Month, and now we're going to celebrate our local volunteers in the greater West Bloomfield area. And so we're going to do that on May 10th. It's going to be at Temple Israel. We'll have the full production live for you right here on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. If you want to learn more about some of the history of the Michigan Week Awards here in greater West Bloomfield and a little bit more about the history of Michigan Week across the Great Lakes state, I'd highly encourage you to go over to Michigan Week's website, michiganweek.org, or go to Facebook at GWBMW. Think about it, Greater West Bloomfield Michigan Week, GWBMW. On Facebook in order to learn even more about that. We recently also spoke to Carol Hack from the Greater West Bloomfield. These signs up on people's yards saying that they are a Michigan Week Award recipient this year, receiving those signs as they're being put out by the committee over this weekend and into next week as we get ready for that celebration.
That's pretty nice, Tyler, that they're doing that. I keep telling you, man, I think that's the greatest gift you can give someone, some of your time. Like I said, especially as adults, our time is so precious, and we don't want to just, waste it, I'll say. We already have to commit at least a third of our day to work, and then you have to go home and take care of the kids. So to take that additional time to help the community, help someone in need, or just, do something for the greater good, my hat's off to you.
And if you're looking for ways to get involved in that way, and you're maybe not sure, hey, look, I want to get involved in the community. I want to be someone that volunteers, that helps other people. But, everyone's already doing so many other things that I would just be adding on to. How do I get involved? The Optimist Club of West Bloomfield recently sharing a post from Optimist International, their parent organization, posting an action bingo card on their Facebook page earlier this week with a number of different ways that you can get involved in the community and help other people, Kevin. This list includes a number of different ways that you can get involved. Some of them that we've actually participated in recently, donating to a food bank. If you've participated recently in the Hospitality House food drive, hey, look, take this action bingo card, check that off of your list as you were able to participate and help out for just a little bit under a couple of weeks in partnership with West Bloomfield Parks, West Bloomfield Township, and the West Bloomfield Police Foundation. And the one on the list is recycling. All of you across our 4 communities that participated in the Household Hazardous Waste Drop-Off Day for the spring, you also can check that off of your card. And then lastly, but not limited to this list, picking up litter. Optimists and others who joined in on the Orchard Lake Road cleanup event and their Adopt the Road event just a couple of weeks ago can also check that off the card. So much more on there, Kevin, that people can find about ways to get involved in our local community through leadership, through volunteerism, through donations, or just giving their time, their energy, and their heart to the community. But I did notice something. I did notice a bit of a trend on a lot of these on that card, a lot of things that relate to, stuff we've participated in lately. We've been out and covering. So maybe perhaps they need to add one more to that. Maybe put it in the free space. Learn about things going on in the community and ways you can get involved right here on the Splash Live.
Good one. Look at you trying to get your little bingo spot in early, Tyler. No, that's cheating. I forget. I do see some things on here that's very, very interesting, though. Help a friend, pay a compliment. Those are the type of things that I would imagine you should be able to do just easily without even thinking about it. Help a friend, pay someone a compliment. So some of these things should just come by the wayside easily in your everyday. But then some of them you might have to put a little bit of effort in. Mentor a child, plant a tree, that type of thing. But I love the list. It's challenging people to kind of, put their best foot forward in the community.
Yeah, and you can find that full list, print off the bingo card, keep it with you. Try to check things off of that list over maybe the month of May, the next couple of weeks. Try to get bingo in some way or another. And feel a little bit better about your day. Find more information on that. Facebook at West Bloomfield Optimist to see the full list, or you can learn more about the Optimist Club of West Bloomfield on westbloomfieldoptimist.org. In the West Bloomfield School District, Kevin, kids getting a chance to get on the job site, put on their hard hats, and go to work. Earlier this week, they participated in Michigan Construction Career Day. These were some of the 40 middle school students, 7th grade students at West Bloomfield Middle School, taking a field trip out to Howell, to the Operating Engineers Site Training location. Each had a chaperone with them, so each kid had their own individual chaperone who is a professional in some area in construction. They used real construction tools, real materials, real machinery to do a number of different works and see a little bit of everything across the construction industry on site and with real training opportunities. Here's one of the middle schoolers operating some heavy equipment there. You can see that on CivicCenterTV.com. Yes, an excavator. And all these pictures can also be found. There's so much more, so many great opportunities these kids had. You can explore all of it on the Facebook page of the West Bloomfield School District at West Bloomfield Schools on Facebook. Kevin, really cool opportunity for these kids. And 40 of them got to go out to Howell, experience a day in the life working in construction, and apply some of those STEAM lessons they're learning in the classroom and see them being applied in a real world sense in an industry they may be very interested in going into.
More like this. More like this. I love seeing that. See, that is opening up the doors and the eyes of the youth to the things in this world, in our society, in our community, that help things go, that help the wheels turn. Being in construction isn't glorified like being an athlete or being the president or whatever the case may be. But you see construction everywhere. So there's clearly jobs there. So I love that they're opening up students to this opportunity to get that one-on-one session with people in these types of trades. We should open it up to more trades, police, first responders, teachers, educators, everything. But don't let me rant about it, Tyler, man. I'm passionate about that. I love it.
Hey, you know what? That's all stuff that's already been thought about by our local school districts. We know that West Bloomfield School District, Bloomfield Hills, Walled Lake Consolidated Schools, and the many others that serve the greater West Bloomfield area do have a lot of these different partnerships. They also have these partnerships and these bonds that have been formed through Oakland Schools, our intermediate school district, and we recently talked to Ken Gutman, their incoming superintendent, about how much of a focus they really do want to continue to put on that career readiness and getting interest in the skilled trades. And we know these are coveted positions. They're going to be well paid. They're going to be well trained positions for many years to come. And look, to get the kids interested early, at least let them explore and see. Maybe it's something they're going to be really interested in. They want to explore further, and they can build that passion early on. Really cool stuff from the West Bloomfield School District. Close to home, a local small business in the prettiest little city in Michigan, in Sylvan Lake, is helping to turn a common chore and into something much more relaxing, restoring the lost art of a classic form of self-care. Our reporter Jake Schaff has the story.
Shaving is something that not a lot of people enjoy doing and that people mostly see as nothing more than just a chore. But here at the Razor Company, they offer several high-quality materials and items to help take care of your facial hair and to make shaving not something that you have to do, but something that you get to do.
The Razor Company was started by Jason Regal on a quest to get a better shave. We've been in business for 8 years. He rediscovered traditional shaving and found that most of the world still shaves like this today.
What kind of materials do you have to offer?
Shaving and grooming is our primary focus here at the Razor Company. We have double-edged safety razors, single-edged safety razors, straight razors, brushes, bowls, soaps, creams, aftershaves, everything for a wonderful shave. There are 3 main benefits for traditional shaving. There is you reduce irritation, you reduce cost, as well as save the planet. So 25% of men who shave have neck irritation, and the supplies here, shaving cream, soaps, and aftershaves will help with that, as well as the razor that you use and the blade. And then cartridge razors are very expensive, and they live in the landfill. They just stay there and don't break down. So that's not really good for the planet. We take pride in our planet and are a Gillette certified recycle plate station for you to bring your cartridge razors and razor blades for recycling. The materials we do have here are recyclable. They can be obviously broken down over time.
Why is self-care so important?
So self-care is important for everyone, not just ladies. I believe men also do benefit from self-care. The repetition of shaving, as well as the materials used to help get a better shave. You smell better, you feel better, and you look better. We hope our customers enjoy visiting the shop, as well as interacting with other people in the community. The environmental impact is obviously important, but what's more important is how you feel after you're done shaving and learning different ways to do so.
From soaps to creams to razors galore, there is so much to be seen here at the Razor Company. Make sure you stop by next time you're in Sylvan Lake, and to help turn shaving from a chore to something much more enjoyable. For Civic Center TV, I'm Jake Schaff.
Really cool stuff happening over there in Sylvan Lake as we highlight our small businesses here in the greater West Bloomfield community. You can learn more about them, learn more about many other small businesses that we've highlighted in interviews and in the field this week. Just join us on our on-demand page on civiccentertv.com. Kevin, bringing back a little bit of a lost art of that classic shaving. Some people like to still use that straight razor or to use a more traditional modern non-electric razor, and they're helping people learn how to do that and do so safely. And I like the angle that she took also, talking about the sustainability element of that classic form of shaving.
I'm gonna be honest, Tyler. I've always seen like the old school, lather up the shaving cream on the neck and get that straight edge razor and just go straight at. It looks impressive, but I'm scared of that, man. I can't do that. I'm scared. I don't want to do it to myself, or I don't want to let nobody do it to me because it just seems like too dangerous. I don't know. Maybe I'm just from the new generation. I've had an electric razor for about 10 plus years now, man. Works magic for me. But I hear, using a razor, I can probably help. If you're watching on Civic Center TV, you get an exclusive look at my razor bumps, See, that's probably from the electric razor. So the lost art of traditional razor shaving, that's probably the way to go. I probably need to pay a visit.
Yeah, giving the people what they want, a look at our facial hair this morning on CivicCenterTV.com. Good stuff.
Yeah.
A couple of people perhaps that need to make a stop over to Sylvan Lake and learn a little bit more, as Jake did earlier on this week. Mind you, with a clean shave himself. Not, right, pretty apropos for that story. On a more serious note, here in the greater West Bloomfield area, a massive accomplishment for the #1 employer, the biggest employer in the greater West Bloomfield area at Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital. Their nurses recently receiving a major honor of becoming certified in the magnet designation from the American Nurses Credentialing Center, or ANCC. This is a huge accomplishment and a rare one for hospitals not only across our nation, but across the entire globe. Joining us to talk more about this on today's edition of the Splash Live is Stephanie Roberts-Newman, the Chief Nursing Officer at Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital. Stephanie, I want to congratulate you and your team first off, but as we talk about this magnet designation, what does this accomplishment mean for you as the Chief Nursing Officer at Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital, but also to your nurses and the staff on your nursing team?
Well, it means a lot. It really shines a light on what we were already doing here at Henry Ford West Bloomfield. This is a recognition of things already accomplished in our organization. So it's very, very important to our nurses. It means that the hospital supports nurses in their professional and educational pursuits. It means that patients will receive the very best care from the very best nurses here at Henry Ford West Bloomfield.
And take us through a little bit of the process to get to this point. You mentioned this back when we had you on in February, but this wasn't an easy task. This wasn't something that just quickly happened from having the ANCC come in and see the great service being provided at Henry Ford West Bloomfield. What work went into obtaining this credentialing?
This is actually 4 years of work for us, and about 85 different stories is what they call them, explaining different aspects of the magnet criteria. You spend a lot of time talking about quality and safety of our patients, and we had to provide examples of all the quality initiatives and safety initiatives that we do. We had to provide examples of leadership in the organization and nurses being empowered, nurses having the ability to speak to people, nurses at the highest level of the organization, nurses expressing concerns about patient care or about their own well-being. All of those things went into this document, and we had 4 years of data and information to gather and put together in a large document. Our writers, starting with Wilfred Allen, who is our director for the Magnet program here, worked for about a year and a half writing these stories for us, really bringing to life on paper what we had already done from a quality, safety, and nursing support perspective. We turned in our document last April 1st to be exact. We heard back from them in July, which is not uncommon. They wanted more information on about 20 of our stories. We resubmitted that documentation in October. They gave us a few months to get that together. We heard from them in December that we would have a visit in February, end of February, beginning of March. We've been waiting since March 1st when they left to hear back from them, and we heard from them on April 22nd. So it was rather quick and exciting for our team. This is the first time we've been designated as a magnet organization. Our sister hospitals, we have 2 that have already been designated and have started on their redesignation. So it really is an honor. And it really speaks a lot to how we care for patients here in our organization and how we care for our nurses and how we support them in their endeavor to grow professionally and develop professionally.
And that's a really good point too, Stephanie, because not only is it important for our nurses to be successful in taking care of our patients and provide them with the best care possible, that ultimately does, in many ways and ways, shapes, and forms, come back to the hospital system and the nursing staff from an executive level, from an organizational level, supporting them and providing them the resources to provide this sort of care to these patients. So now, how is that manifested from your side of things as a chief nursing officer and with the president of Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital and across Henry Ford Health to facilitate the ability for our nurses at Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital to achieve this significant achievement of being a magnet hospital?
What it does is it also attracts nurses who have that greater potential to our organization. And for those who just need support and a leg up, Henry Ford Hospital does that. We pay tuition reimbursement. We have sign-on bonuses. We have opportunities for them to grow and develop professionally, and we have all types of care. It is a wonderful thing for our nurses to be able to come here and go to work and have an employer that really does value them for what they bring to the table, and that is 24/7 care for all of our patients.
We're joined by Stephanie Roberts-Newman. She is the Chief Nursing Officer at Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital, a big accomplishment for them recently, receiving their Magnet designation for the American Nurses Credentialing Center, or ANCC. And this is not just a big accomplishment, it is a unique accomplishment. You mentioned that two of your sister hospitals within the Henry Ford Health System also have this designation or are pursuing redesignation. But Shana Johnson, the president of Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital, in the press release announcing this, mentioned less than 10% of hospitals that pursue this or have the chance to pursue this end up getting that designation. What does that ultimately say, Stephanie, about the quality of care, the resources, and the teamwork that goes in to providing the utmost of nursing care at Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital?
It speaks a lot to it. When you think about the number of hospitals that we have in the United States, and this is an international honor, it's less than 10% of about 10,000 hospitals worldwide. It says a lot about Henry Ford Health. It says that they're very supportive of their nurses and that they have the very best nurses working in their organization in this particular area. So it speaks volumes to our nursing care. It speaks volumes to our employer, Henry Ford Health.
This is a high designation for nursing, as you mentioned, both nationally and internationally. But it's not just an honor. It's not just a feather you can put in your cap in the nursing department at Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital or across this health system. There are statistics behind this. There is data that shows that hospitals that are able to achieve this designation do have significantly better outcomes with their patients. What does that show? Ultimately, why was this such an important designation to pursue for your team?
Well, again, it recognizes work that has already been done. So it really shines a light on the fact that we have high quality standards. Our mortality and morbidity rates are lower than most hospitals in this country. It speaks to how we care for patients and the type of care that we provide. We can't do that in nursing without our physicians, respiratory therapists, physical therapy, occupational therapy, our EVS teams, our food nutrition teams. All of those things are foundational and needed to be able to care for our patients here at Henry Ford. So it really does speak to a team effort, but it is the highest designation and honor for a division of nursing to have.
You can learn more information about the Magnet designation on Henry Ford Health on Facebook or henryford.com. Again, that's Henry Ford Health on Facebook. They just recently posted about the hospital receiving its Magnet designation, a big celebration and a very due celebration at Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital. When you're over there, whether you're visiting a patient, maybe you're in there for some care yourself, thank your nurses and congratulate them on some great teamwork leading to massive success at Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital. Before we let you go, Stephanie Roberts-Newman, Chief Nursing Officer at Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital, is with us. Anything else you'd like to say to your staff, to the community, as you receive this massive honor?
Yeah, I would like to say next week is Nurses Week. If you all can come out to Henry Ford West Bloomfield and help us celebrate Nurses Week, we will be flying our Magnet flag. There is plenty of parking in our new parking structure, so come on out and help us celebrate. We will be flying that flag on May 6th around 11 o'clock a.m. So please join us if you can.
Yeah, a great place to go out and give them your thanks and cheer them on as they celebrate a huge accomplishment for not only Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital, but for our medical community here in the greater West Bloomfield area. Stephanie, thank you so much for your time, and of course, congratulations to your team.
Thank you so much.
What a huge accomplishment for our friends over at Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital. Learn more about this massive accomplishment and give them your thanks and your congratulations on their Facebook page at Henry Ford Health, or visit henryfordhealth.com for even more information. Kevin, as someone that is around someone that works in healthcare each and every day, you know how hard that they work, that our nurses work in our hospitals, even right here in the greater West Bloomfield area. So not only an opportunity to celebrate the hard work they do every single day, but the big accomplishments that they've made in receiving a very tough designation to obtain.
And it's well deserved too, Tyler. Like we say, they're first responders. They're our healthcare workers. They take care of the ones that take care of others. So essentially, it's only right that we take care of the ones that take care of us. So nurses, well deserved. They put a lot of feet to the ground. They were the first ones there during the pandemic, so they deserve all the praise.
That is for sure. They're heroes each and every day and helping a lot of people all throughout our community at Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital and at other healthcare facilities all around our local area, Michigan, and around the world as well. Kevin, we've had a lot of reason to celebrate our athletes lately as well, with multiple West Bloomfield High School alums heading to the NFL after the recent NFL draft in Detroit, but also possibly in the future we could see a West Bloomfield High School alum fighting in the Ultimate Fighting Championship.
Yeah, that's right, Tyler, putting a pause on somebody, by the way, hands and feet. Now, I love talking that, but we're talking about a mixed martial art professional fighter straight out of West Bloomfield representing, and he actually has a fight coming up. Joining the Splash Live right now from West Bloomfield, professional MMA fighter Austin Bashi, joining the Splash. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you guys having me.
Absolutely, man. Representing for West Bloomfield, we had to have you on here, man. You got a very exciting career, professionally, undefeated, 11-0. We'll build up to that, but I want to take us back to humble beginnings first and foremost. West Bloomfield High School, you were a wrestler there. You had a great career, by the way, over 100 career wins from what I'm seeing, a couple state championship appearances, and even fourth place in your junior season. Just talk about your experience as a wrestler at West Bloomfield and how that helped develop you into the professional fighter you are today.
Yeah, for sure, man. So wrestling in West Bloomfield High School was a big add-on to my MMA career. You know, I started this journey when I was 8 years old, starting in Muay Thai and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and then worked my way up, and then all the way to high school. And then high school, I started wrestling, and that wrestling foundation really has helped me with my whole MMA career. And here I am now, 11-0, 22 years old. I just got to thank all those coaches at that school for helping me along the way.
Yeah, I was just up there too, man. Very supportive staff, coaching, and students there too, man. Great community. And you're preparing for a fight coming up. Lights Out Championship 16, Saturday, June 1st. This will be in Wayne at the Hype Athletics. You will be fighting PFL and LFA alum, the Bosnian Dragon, Ago Huskic, if I'm saying that correct. He's a professional featherweight. Oh, this is for the professional featherweight championship. So just talk about your preparation as you get ready for this big fight.
So it's kind of more of the same. You know, this is just another big fight, and this is upper weight class. Usually I'm a bantamweight fighter. I have the bantamweight title, and now I'm moving up to featherweight and fighting for the featherweight title. Preparation is more of the same, you know, working hard every single day and studying this guy. And on June 1st, looking to add another title to my resume.
So what made you, I got a few different questions here running in my mind. So what made you want to step up to that next level, that next weight class? What made you feel like I'm ready to move on up and take on this next challenge?
Yeah, for sure. You know, I fought a bunch of guys in the bantamweight division and defended my title a bunch of times. And now I feel like kind of want that next step, getting that featherweight title and being a double champ has something to say. And I feel like that's very big for me in my career. So that's kind of what made the decision.
Yes, sir. I mean, hey, you got the record to prove it, man. 11-0, undefeated. I got a quick chance to look at some of your fights, and I'm saying you are putting the paws on them, man. And I'm going to try my best to make it out there to your fight. I definitely want to go out there and check it out. It'll be my first fight to see in person. But joining us right now on the Splash Live, we have professional MMA fighter from West Bloomfield, Austin Bashi, joining us talking about his upcoming bringings in West Bloomfield High School as a wrestler and his upcoming fight June 1st at the Lights Out Championship in Wayne also. So what's really your motivation to continue to fight? Like you say, you've been doing it since you've been 8 years old, and like I said, I saw some of your videos. You're very passionate about it. But what's your real driver behind just wanting to be a professional fighter, or one of the greatest fighters, I should say?
Yeah, so since a kid, my goal and dream was always to be a UFC champion and compete with the best in the world and fight with the best and be a world champion. And I just want to prove to myself that I'm the best in the world. And it's kind of what drives me every single day. And me being a world champion means a lot to me. So that's my goal. And that's really all I know how to do in this life. I've been doing it my whole life, and that's all I have.
Hey, Austin, man, whether or not you know it, you are setting an example coming from West Bloomfield, being in the career that you're in right now. You have people that are watching you right now, people that are looking up to you. What would be your words to anyone at West Bloomfield right now, or anywhere just watching right now, who is currently maybe a wrestler in school but aspiring to go to that next level as a professional fighter? What would you say to them?
Whatever your goals and dreams are in life, just keep on pushing. You got to work very hard, of course, to be at the top of the chain, but just being disciplined, staying focused on your goal, and never quitting, never giving up. No matter what life brings to you, you got to just keep pushing and keep moving forward.
Keep going, keep fighting. No pun intended. Hey man, we at Lights Out Championship 16 Saturday, June 1st. Hype Athletics on Howe Road in Wayne, Michigan. Austin Bashi versus the Bosnian Dragon, Ago Huskic, or Huskic, if I'm saying that right, for the featherweight championship, moving up in a weight class also, which is very, very interesting. Also, really quick before we go, how do you manage the pressure of having this perfect record? Do you feel like there's any pressure with having this perfect record?
I never really think about that. I never think about my record. Never really think about putting it on the line. When I get in that cage, it's just me and him, and it's just another day. I've been doing this, like I was saying, my whole entire life. It's just another day in the office, and for me, it's just another fight.
There you go. One fight at a time, sir. Stay focused, laser focused, get that job done, man. Congratulations again on all your success, and good luck to you in your fight. Austin Bashi, MMA fighter from West Bloomfield, thank you so much for joining the Splash Live.
Appreciate it. Thank you, man.
Absolutely. I'm going to be honest with you, Tyler. Just talking to him, I know he's young, but, man, I could just see in his stature. He looks big. He looks ready, man. So, hey, congratulations again to Austin. Good luck to him representing West Bloomfield out here.
Thank you.
We wish him good luck against the Bosnian Dragon. Perhaps in a few weeks here, we get past June 1st, we'll be calling him the West Bloomfield Dragon Slayer after that fight, and he'll be having a 12-0 record, moving on, possibly going into even more success in the future in athletics. So much to be celebrating from our West Bloomfield athletes of late with the NFL draft, of course, the MHSAA state championship with the girls basketball team, and all the other accomplishments we've seen from our athletes, even those that signed their national letters of intent earlier on this week. So much to be celebrating from West Bloomfield High School and our local athletes, both present and alums as well. Here in the greater West Bloomfield area, coming up in just a couple of weeks, you'll have a chance to interact with bees in partnership with West Bloomfield Parks and Bees in the D. Now, for some, that might seem a little bit scary to get in front of a bunch of bees and learn a little bit more about beekeeping, but we have someone here with us to provide you with the truth on what it means to be around honeybees each and every day. Joining us is the co-founder of Bees in the D, Brian Peterson, on today's edition of the Splash Live. Brian, thanks for being with us. Yeah, glad to have you on the program as you're partnering with West Bloomfield Parks for a couple of sets of events. One that's happening in May and one a little bit later on in the summer. Beekeeper for a Day, and it's going to provide a hive tour. Now, for those that maybe aren't familiar, I don't think many people may know that we have some of some beehives that are purposefully placed throughout West Bloomfield Township to help not only support our bee population, but also make some delicious honey that is made right here in the Metro Detroit area. Tell us about some of our local hives.
Yeah, so we love our partnership with West Bloomfield Parks, and we have hives at Carner Park where the community garden is. It's a great fit so that the garden is being pollinated. And we love to educate people about our pollinators using those hives to share about bees, and not just our honeybees, but a lot of our different local bees that are a part of our communities as well.
And this is going to be happening on May 19th from 10 a.m. until 12 noon at the Carner Farm in West Bloomfield. You can register to attend this event right now as we speak on wbparks.org. And so, as we get closer to this event, and we're heading toward the peak season really for the beginning of honey season and bee season here in the greater West Bloomfield area and across the state of Michigan. What inspired you in this partnership with West Bloomfield Parks to create this event to show people what a day in the life of a local beekeeper is kind of like?
Well, one of the key pillars of Bees in the D, our nonprofit, is education. And we feel it's very important to help educate people about our pollinators and how they are so instrumental in our food industry, but also our ecosystem. And what better way to do that than with some of the local community parks? And West Bloomfield has been one of our largest supporters in getting the word out there and helping to educate people. And it's really exciting for people to just get a taste of what it feels like to be a beekeeper. It's not that they're committing necessarily to be a beekeeper, but we get them suited up. They get to go into this incredible world and get to see what is happening in those hives. It's so complex. They're considered a superorganism, and after the tour, trust me, people understand why.
What are some of those common misconceptions that people do have when they go out to these events with Bees in the D, not just in West Bloomfield, but across the Metro Detroit area, that are most often getting squashed when they do have an experience like this with some of our local honeybees?
Well, the first thing is we tend to just plop every kind of almost flying insect into the category of bees. And they're actually a lot more diverse than what people realize. In Michigan alone, over 460 different species. But wasps also do exist. And we tend to always say these bees are so horrible. If we're at a picnic, the bees are bothering me. Those are actually not bees at all. They are a wasp known as a yellow jacket. And so when we go in the hives, I think the biggest surprised by people is they're expecting, even though they have the veils on and the suits on, that the bees are going to be attacking and want to get them, but that's not the case at all. The bees are continue to work, going back and forth, in and out of the hive, heading out to flowers, because that's what they're concerned about. They're not concerned about our picnics or the cider towards the end of the summer. And so people are very surprised at how docile the bees are and how they almost are like, welcome to our home. Just, close up when you're done and make yourself at home. Take a look at what's going on in here.
And for an experienced beekeeper like you, that's an interesting point, because these bees, regardless of if a beekeeper is tending to them or not, they're going to have their colonies, they're going to venture out, they're going to pollinate flowers, they're going to go and build their hives and do these processes anyway. So, how do they often respond to this more situated environment that they're kind of being moved towards or, inspired towards with these local hives?
Yeah, that's a big misconception that bees actually flourish even better in an urban environment because of the diversity of life. Bees have really adapted to coexisting with humans, and thank goodness for that, because I sure enjoy the diversity of food. And really, we have our bees and our pollinators to thank for that, because they are responsible for pollinating most of the foods that we grow. And I don't know about you, but I sure love a lot of our fruits and our nuts and our vegetables. And so they're gonna go out and they're gonna do their job, because what they're doing is it's kind of a win-win. they're pollinating to get the nectar and the pollen from the plant. But what they're doing is when they're doing that is they're passing the pollen from a boy flower to a girl flower, and that then pollinates it. So the bees are getting the food that they need, but then they're also creating the food that we need. So it's quite a really cool symbiotic relationship that's going on there.
Yeah, and one that has so many layers to it too, because it's not just that symbiotic relationship between the bees and and our local plant life, but also between the bees and us and our local plant life as well. All of which you can learn more about on May 19th from 10 a.m. until 12 noon at the Beekeeper for a Day Hive Tour at Carner Farm in West Bloomfield Parks in partnership with Bees in the D. You can learn more and register for this event right now. $30 for residents, $35 for non-residents, and registrations available on wbparks.org. And Brian, in terms of the activities that people will participate in, not just learning activities and educational activities, but they'll be able to have a chance to get a little bit hands-on. Tell us more about what they'll experience if they do come out to be a beekeeper for a day.
Yeah, so I always start it with education, talking about it, expectations. I like to hear what they think, especially if they've never been in a hive, what they're expecting. And then we actually suit up. We get on the bee suits, the gloves, the veils, and then we head into the hives and we open up the hive. We do use the smoker. I show them the basic tools that beekeepers use. And then we can take some of the frames out. And we get to look for many different things in the hive. I want to show them the whole life cycle, looking for some egg, the larva state and the pupa state, and of course the adult state. And we're looking for actually the girl bees, which are the workers in the hive. And those are the ones you see in your gardens that are foraging. But there's also drones, which are boy bees, a little bit larger, that we'll look for. And then, of course, that needle in the haystack. We're going to be looking for royalty herself, the queen bee, which we don't always see, but there's one per hive, and it's always fun when we get to explore and possibly see the queen bee as well.
Yeah, only one way you can do that. You got to be a beekeeper for a day with Bees in the D at West Bloomfield Parks at Carner Farm on May 19th from 10 a.m. until 12 noon. Again, more information on this event and ways you can register on wbparks.org. You can also learn more about Bees in the D on their Facebook page at Bees in the D. Joining us is their co-founder, Brian Peterson, on today's edition of the Splash Live. And Brian, as you've done these events, not only in partnership with West Bloomfield Parks, but at so many other locations in the city of Detroit and around the Metro Detroit area, what have been some of those special moments that you've experienced? Tell us about a couple of them maybe that you've experienced where you've seen someone, see that impact that bees really can have on our communities.
Yeah, I love to see some of the misconceptions just melt away, where people actually even have great fears, and I'm so proud of them for being willing to try this event. And they walk away going, wow, like that was nothing like I expected. And we love that our organization was able to bring back the Girl Scout patch as well. It was discontinued a few decades ago, and now we have a very strong program with the Girl Scouts of Southeast Michigan, where we do much like what we're doing at Carner Farms, where the girls get to go into the hives, but then they do a project that helps our local beekeepers or our bees or planting natives and educating about the importance of our native bees to earn that patch, just to bring to our next generation that important message of our pollinators. So those are a few things that really it's just very special for me, especially as a teacher. But I also, we get to do a lot of fun stuff with honey. You mentioned honey, and it is a byproduct. And luckily, the bees are very productive, and they make extra honey. And so then we get to enjoy that. But it goes beyond just putting it on your biscuits. We have taken some courses where we now are honey sommeliers, much like a wine sommelier. And so we have events that we do where we actually educate you of how to smell and taste honey properly, much like you would wine. And so we have some of those events coming up. We're doing a honey pairing where we pair our honey at Bee Nectar in Ferndale with mead, which is a honey liqueur. So it's fun to be able to use some of those things to enjoy a really unique evening, but also learn about the bees at the same time.
Yeah, education an important element of it, but also the work being done not only by our bees, but also by our volunteers and those participating in these hive opportunities with Bees in the D and West Bloomfield Parks. Again, May 19th, 10 a.m. until 12 noon. Registration available on wbparks.org. Brian, anything else for us before we let you go today?
No, I just continue to plant native. That's so important. And just, I really encourage people to be a voice of the bees, for the bees, to help people understand that they do have a lot of misconceptions. And it is swarm season. So I think it is worth mentioning that bees sometimes will split up apart from their hive and form this large ball of bees. It's a little intimidating, but instead of spraying, contact us right away and we'll come out and collect that so that we can put them in a hive where they can be safe and monitored and taken care of. And please join us, like you said, on our webpage at beesnthd.com under events. We have a lot of fun events that you can get involved with, learn more, or even volunteer, including the Beekeeper for the Day with West Bloomfield. So, so fun. Join us. I promise it will really be an experience that you have never had before.
It will open your mind to something so important to our local ecology, our bees. Brian, thank you so much for your time.
Always a pleasure to be with you. Thank you.
Glad to have you on beesinthed.com, Facebook at Bees in the D, and of course, learn more about their Beekeeper for a Day event in partnership with West Bloomfield Parks on wbparks.org. Live, local, social, it's The Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. We'll take a break. On the other side, we're getting ready to head back out on the water across our 4 communities, and now's the best time of any to get your kids ready to do so safely. We'll have more on that next.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live. This is Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. On cable and the radio. On the web too, and on social media. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home. Live, local, and social. It's The Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. Join our team as we highlight people and events that are making an impact in the greater West Bloomfield area. Catch us live Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Watch us on demand at civiccentertv.com. Or watch us on TV at Comcast Channel 15 or AT&T at Channel 99. It's that time of year, Lakers. Gather around to honor our community's volunteers at the 52nd Annual Michigan Week Awards. Watch as these local All-Stars are honored for their leadership, dedication, and passion to their community. To register, go to michiganweek.org or catch the live broadcast May 10th at 7 a.m. on civiccentertv.com or on Comcast Channel 15 and AT&T Channel 99. Bringing you stories and memories from Sylvan Lake, Civic Center TV, and 89.3 Lakes FM. And now, back to The Splash, live.
Live, local, social, it's The Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. I'm Tyler Kieft alongside Kevin McIntosh. Kevin, it's feeling more and more like summer outside and spring outside. The temperature's warming up, people getting out and about, walking on our trails and across our local area, getting outside for fun and activities. And soon we'll be seeing them out on the water on Cass Lake, on Pine Lake, on Orchard Lake, and so many others across our local area, and maybe even in our pools outdoors and indoors as well. But that means it's time to start thinking about swim safety, especially for the kids.
Swim safety indeed if water is involved. Yes, and we have to do it for the kids also. Very, very important. And that's why we have a facility right within our community where all of the safety training, swimming classes with professional instructors are held. And that's at the Goldfish Swim School of West Bloomfield. And joining the splash right now to tell us a little bit more about the programs they have going on and their safety pledge. We have General Manager of Goldfish Swim School in West Bloomfield, Alicia Anderson. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, thank you so much for inviting me to be on Splash.
Absolutely. So very exciting. I don't want to hold up too much of your time. I know you're busy, but I also want to hit on a few key things. One, let's start with the programs that you have. Looking at your website and looking through some things, I see that you have programs that range from the youth ages going all the way to just infants, toddlers, all the way to 12 years old, all the way for adults. So just talk about some of the key programs that you all offer.
Yeah, so we are a child learn to swim facility. So we teach children from 4 months to 12 years old water safety and swim skills all the way up to stroke development. So that way they're ready for the swim teams, which is really a lot of fun.
Exciting. Yeah. So, I was looking through some of the pictures. I think we may have even had here on the Splash Live, and I saw that you had like very, very young children out there. What's the earliest age that you have children come to learn how to swim?
Yeah, so 4 months is the earliest that we teach children how to swim, and we're teaching them back floating, getting them acclimated to the water, and practicing going underwater, that sort of thing. So it's really awesome that young they're able to practice their water safety.
Wow, yeah, 4 months. I was not expecting that. That's very nice though. I guess I hear there's some rumor about being in the stomach, in the womb, that you're kind of a natural swimmer, so you kind of take that and apply it to. I don't know. Don't let me get the line about some science, but that is very, very interesting. You also offer, if I'm not mistaken, family swim times at
Yeah.
program. What, can you
Yeah,
explain
we
that?
do. So, actually, today's Friday. So, the first Friday of every month, we offer a Friday night family swim for an hour and a half where families can get out of
Nice.
the house and do something fun with their kids. And then, other than the first Friday of every month, we offer family swim during the day. So that way, the kids that are still at home with their parents and that sort of thing, they can get out and practice the swim skills that they've been learning at our facility.
Absolutely. Great information. That's a great time for the parents to come out with the kids, help get the kids, use some of that energy to get them tired, and then you take them home from the bed. I always like
Yes.
that. Join the Splash right now, talking about Goldfish Swim School, their programs and things going on. General Manager Alicia Anderson joining us, just talking about all the great things that Goldfish Swim School has in store. And now I also want to talk about, since we are talking about water, we are talking about children. Let's get into the safety of it all. You all have a safer swimmer pledge. Can you talk a little bit about this and its impact on water safety awareness?
Yeah, absolutely. So May is Water Safety Month. So currently, all goldfish national-wide, we are doing a Safer Swimmer Pledge. And this is helping kids understand how they can be safe in and around the water, wearing life jackets where they're supposed to, having an adult, and throwing a flotation object instead of trying to go and maybe help their friend. And just making sure that they fully understand how they can be safe in and around the water. So definitely take the Safer Swimmer Pledge and read it to your kids and help them have a safer summer.
Nice. Yeah. And this is actually, if I'm not mistaken, a partnership with USA Swimming Foundation and Every Child a Swimmer initiative with this program. Can you just discuss this partnership and why it's so important for this pledge?
Yeah, absolutely. So they are donating $1 for every pledge that is done. So members in our community that maybe can't afford swim lessons are able to partake in water safety.
Nice. Yeah, see, I didn't know about that. And that's a good deed right there that they're doing in partnership to kind of make all of this happen for the kids and keep them going with these safe swim lessons. And thank you for informing me also, May being National Water Safety Month also. So it's great that we're getting this information out there, especially as the water starts to, I mean, not the water, the weather starts to break and we get a little bit warmer outside. So what about any other type of activities that you all have going on? Is it just open swim? Is it just lessons? Are there any games that are played or any type of activities like that at the Goldfish Swim School?
Yeah, so it's really just the family swims that we do, and then we have different water toys that they can play with. We have like a slide, we have a fun little bike and a boat that the kids are able to play with during family swim. And then we also offer something, we know summer is super busy, so we see a lot of people withdrawing from our program and thinking like, oh, well, they're going to be swimming anyway. So we offer something called a Jumpstart Clinic. So for the busy families that can't commit monthly, it's just a 4 days of consecutive lessons to keep their swim skills sharp, because we know that there are so many lakes around us. Everyone really has a pool in their backyard and everyone's going on vacation. So to remind their swimmers of water safety and keep their skills ready and prepared for anything that could happen, we offer those Jumpstart clinics, which are Monday through Thursday.
Absolutely, absolutely. And speaking of safety too, Alicia, very quick, can you just speak on the experience and the knowledge that your staff has to make sure that they are ensuring that it is a very safe and friendly environment for everyone who attends there also?
Absolutely. So our team currently is 80% lifeguard certified. So everyone on our staff has gone through training and knows how to respond when an emergency happens. They are equipped with where the crash bag is, how to give oxygen, how to pull someone from the water if something happens, and then render care as needed as well. So we practice once a month, and we have ongoing practices. Before each shift, we'll do a scenario with the team, so that way they're keeping their skills sharp. We're also audited by Ellis and Associates, which is really awesome because that is helping hold us accountable for our safety standard. And yeah, we're ready to go for when emergencies happen.
Yep. And I'm glad you highlighted that too, Alicia. I want to put any parents at ease or anyone at ease who are interested in attending Goldfish Swim School, one of the programs, to let them know that we have very trained, certified staff members that are ready, and just to make sure that everything goes safely and we're having a great, friendly environment to enjoy right there. Alicia, thank you so much for your time coming on the Splash Line. Any additional information that we didn't cover or things that you want to let the community know about Goldfish Swim School?
Yes, there's actually one more thing. So Metro Kids Magazine is doing a poll right now for nominations of Best Pool and Best Extracurricular. And we would love if the West Bloomfield community put Goldfish Swim School for those two things, extracurricular and Best Pool.
Extracurricular and Best Pool, Goldfish Swim School. Make sure you go and vote for that in West Bloomfield, the West Bloomfield location specifically. Alicia Anderson, General Manager for Goldfish Swim School, West Bloomfield. Thank you again so much for your time.
Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. You know, I'm a summer baby. My birthday's in June, so I'm all about the summer, getting in the pool, Lake Michigan in South Haven, where my family is, grew up going to that lake also. So I know the importance of learning about swimming. I learned how to swim at a very early age. You'd be surprised how many adults don't even know how to swim, Tyler. So it's good that Alicia and her staff at Goldfish Swim School are preparing the youth for that type of stuff.
And to get to learn in a really unique environment. Not only does West Bloomfield have its very own enclosed mall in the Orchard Mall, but not often you see a place where your kids can go swimming in the mall in your local community, and that's certainly the case at the Orchard Mall. That's where the West Bloomfield location of Goldfish Swim School is located. It's on Orchard Lake Road, just north of Maple in West Bloomfield. Here in the greater West Bloomfield area, just next door in Keagle Harbor over the weekend, they will be having their grand opening of their new disc golf course. That's going to be happening on Saturday beginning at 12 noon. Kristen Sondeville Douglas from Keagle Harbor Parks and Rec joined us this week to talk about the inspiration behind the new disc golf course and to preview that special event. Here's what she had to say.
We're excited. We're always looking at new ways to activate our parks. And there was an organization that wanted to do a charity event last year. And went out and saw how amazing it was. It was wonderful to see everyone out there, from the littlest of kids in kindergarten to grandparents, being able to walk this small little course. And so it was something that we wanted from Parks and Rec on our master plan. And so we made that happen. And so we're really excited to kick that off this Saturday at noon. It's at Baxter Morgan Park. Nice. And the first 25 people that arrive will have, we have discs to hand out, and just having people there helping to teach how to throw a disc. I do not know how to do it. They're different discs, like there's putters and drivers, just like with golf. So it'll be a fun afternoon.
It will be a fun afternoon and a beautiful afternoon, hopefully, in the greater West Bloomfield area. Again, 12 noon on Pridham Street in Keego Harbor at Baxter Morgan Park. Just before you do that, you can go over to the Sylvan Lake in Ferndale Park and help them with their park cleanup, whether you donate 30 minutes of your time, 2 hours, or even more, or even less than that. Whatever you can give can help. Make sure to be appropriately dressed and bring your gloves with you as well to help out as they clean up the parks, get the beaches ready also for the warmer seasons as we're back out and about in the greater West Bloomfield area. On that note, we'll continue to be out and about throughout the greater West Bloomfield area next week. That's going to do it for today's edition of the Splash Live. I'd like to thank everyone that joined us and our crew, Calvin Brown, Jake Schaff, and Anthony Juba at Master Control alongside Kevin McIntosh. I'm Tyler Kieft. Thanks for tuning in to the Splash Live.